Hello, welcome back. I am, of course, Statman Dave. No, it's not Stephen Elson on the Full-Time Devils review this week. It's me because he is crying about Ashley Young getting involved in that first goal. Of course, the Full-Time review is where we talk about you guys, your opinions, thoughts on the weekend's games. We're going to do a little bit of what I thought. We'll do a bit what you think. Then we're going to obviously go into the fan cams and finish things off with United on YouTube. Shout out to Dave Lewis already in the comments for being hyped about the stat man being here. We're going to start off with a stat that is, of course, Marcus Rashford has scored 6 goals that have won United games so far in his career at 21 years old. That is ridiculously good. But anyway, United, let's go to the South Coast and let's talk about the game against Bournemouth. Of course, United came away with the 3 points, but that first half, the first 20 minutes, very, very frustrating. I want you guys to get into the comments. What do United need to do to be a bit better at the start of games? Is it legit just starting with a bit higher tempo? Is it starting players in certain positions? Get into those comments and, of course, let me know. We've already got some guys in the comments. The Statman Army are in there. Statman FC in the comments right now. Of course, Bournemouth started the game very, very well. They created a number of big opportunities in that first 20 minutes. I actually really enjoyed watching them play. The quick interchange, the tempo, the 4-4-2, Wilson running the channel, David Brooks getting involved there, as well as Ryan Fraser. They played some really good stuff and completely undid United. It was almost like United weren't ready for the game. They weren't set up in the right way. Too many chances from those wide areas. Of course, their goal, United completely switched off in that set-piece position. Yes, Juan Mata was a little bit out of position, but you're looking at Smalling, you're looking at Lindelof, you're looking at potentially Ashley Young. Didn't deal with that cross. And United potentially should have been 3 or 4 goals down. And it was so frustrating. Broken down into a side. You basically had United's right-hand side, United's left-hand side. So dysfunctional. Statman Dave hates Leroy Sané. Yes, I do, Leroy Sané. What an absolute flop. What was his stats at the World Cup? 0 goals, 0 assists. Absolutely rubbish. But a player that kind of changed the game, especially in that second half, Ander Herrera, but also Marcus Rashford. I kind of enjoyed Fred in that first half. He won 5 tackles, 2 more than any other player on the pitch. But Herrera really added a bit of control and penetration in midfield that United lacked. The big question again into the comments, is Nemanja Matic needed right now? Or do we go with a midfield, of course, Fred, Pogba, and maybe Ander Herrera, because that was where United really changed the game. Of course, Marcus Rashford having a number of really big opportunities, 3 big chances, 1 goal. Rashford at the moment in front of goal reminds me a little bit of Andy Cole. You need to serve him up with a number of chances for him to put the ball in the back of the net. But scored the winner in added time, in Fergie time. That was absolutely beautiful. The other interesting thing as well was Paul Pogba. What did you guys make of his performance? You know, you're looking at the first half, in the first 20 minutes, he completed 6 passes. 6 passes for a central midfielder. But then in the second half, played into attacking midfield. Interestingly, how he got involved in the game. Again, created a massive chance for Ander Herrera. And of course, pretty much got the assist for the Marcus Rashford goal. Great wing play. Interesting that Pogba in this advanced area looks quite good. We've seen him in the away games. You take the young boys game, away from home again, excelling in that area. He created 4 chances against Bournemouth, 2 more than any other player on the pitch. But then my thoughts on the game, we were impressed by the substitutions, how Rashford reacted, how Ander Herrera came on, gave United some good penetration. Paul Pogba played in a more advanced position. But what did you guys think? We're going to come to your comments right now. Thoughts on the Matty Ryan rumours? I'm not too sure about that. Matty Ryan, a goalkeeper, no? Let's move in there. McTominay for Matic. Could be a good option. I would really like to see a midfield 3 of 2 defensive midfielders. So we're talking maybe having Ander Herrera and Fred and then Paul Pogba as a number 10 above that. That could work quite nice. Alan's coming into the comments. Herrera for Matic needs to start. The new Virgil van Dijk type centre half. That's, it's a fair point. Again, United struggling at the back. Smalling, Lindelof, not really impressing against Bournemouth, especially in those first 20 minutes. Jay coming in. I love Rashford. Rashford is red. Would you start Rashford in the derby next week? Again, we've got some great content coming out on Full-Time Devils over the next 7 days. We've got the Juve stuff, the previews, the match action there, and of course the Manchester derby. After their 6-1 win against Southampton, I'm a little bit afraid. But with Rashford or Sanchez as a forward, maybe that's how United could win that game. Last 2 games prove we don't need Lukaku. He's the control of a broken fridge. Martin, I think that's a little bit harsh. I'm going to be honest with you, Martin. I think Lukaku is very tired. He's fatigued from the World Cup. I think if United were playing to him a little bit better to his feet, we'd see a better, Lukaku. In terms of bad touches in the Premier League this season, he's made fewer than the likes of Mo Salah, than the likes of Harry Kane. And you look at the percentage of touches he's taken in total, it's a lower percentage in terms of the bad touches to touches. So It's almost a myth in a way that United don't really get the best out of Lukaku. They don't play to his feet and they should do that more. Let's go back into your comments. Herrera should start true red. I completely agree with that. We should try a 4-1-2-1-2 with Mata as a cam, an attacking midfielder, Lukaku and Martial as a forward. Could be quite interesting. The only slight reservations I have with that, of course, is in the Premier League there's a lot of diverse tactics. A 4-4-2 diamond works against a 4-4-2, but you'd have to adapt that system elsewhere. I think right now United, potentially with Pogba as an attacking midfielder, could be the way to go. Herrera, Fred in midfield. I am hyped for the derby. Martial is a beast right now. That comes in from Boomtown. Keep getting into your comments into the goddamn comment section on Facebook, on YouTube, all that good stuff. I'm going to jump over to Facebook right now. Get Matic out! Big statement. Matic was poor again. The thing that I used to love about Nemanja Matic when he was in top form was how he dealt with counter-attacks. There was a great opportunity that Bournemouth created, basically breaking centrally at United's two centre-backs and Matic. Matic just couldn't catch up with the attack. Bournemouth had a really good chance through Ryan Fraser. Again, there was a Chris Smalling error in there. But it just seems like Nemanja Matic hasn't recovered from this injury. I think that's a big thing there. He's just not recovered from this abdominal injury. Basically, had the surgery, straight back into the team. Maybe not the great management from Mourinho in terms of the injuriness and all that type of stuff there. Herrera needs more playing time. That comes in from Keith. I completely agree there. Massively changed the game. Not only was it his penetration, but he was getting into areas to get shots on goal. It was strange that sometimes when we get with players like Matic and Fred missing that big chance as well. Herrera seems like the guy that's going to do that. Please stop justifying Lukaku, Dave. Stats don't matter when he misses open goals. United statistically miss open goals as a team. They have the second most shots on goal in the Premier League this season, but haven't scored the most goals. Their chance conversion is poor. It's been like that under Mourinho. Whether there's something that Man United could do in training to improve that, it isn't just Lukaku that's missing these chances. The rest of the team, and there's a big thing there where, look, we've got to look at how United learn to attack and how to break teams down. Back into the Facebook comments, United legit look championship side after the first 30 minutes. I completely agree there. I think they look a championship for 60 minutes, let's say. They turned it on for about 30 minutes to look good. Jay could play a 4-2-2-2. Pogba, Fred as DM, Pogba playing as the French role, Jesse Mata as our 10s, Martial being interchanged with Rashford, and then next to Lukaku. Could work quite nicely, more of a 4-4-2 shape. I think that would be the big thing there. When United, in fact, played that system last season against Palace away, it was far too narrow. It worked against Chelsea when they played a 3-4-3 because he had a man-to-man scheme in midfield, but against Palace it was exposed, needed to be more like a 4-4-2, but I like that. A 4-4-2, maybe a 4-2-3-1 is where United need to go. Got some more comings in from Ben saying Matic, Fred as number 6, Herrera as 8, Pogba as number 10. That's kind of where I think it works right now. I think you need someone like Fred controlling it in the base of midfield. Matic needs time on the beach to recover a little bit. I think maybe Lukaku and Matic just go and chill. Maybe go to Ibiza for a bit. Sit in the sunshine, have a good time, have a little bit of a relax, and then come back and be fresh for United in January. Martial is greater than Sane. I don't even need to read that comment. We all know that's completely correct. Leroy Sane letting himself down this season. But guys, that's my thoughts on the game. Of course, United have conceded 18 goals already this season. In the entirety of the campaign last year, 26 in the league. Stats that you don't want to be reading. But I think it may be time to go to the fan cams. We went to Bournemouth with Full-Time Devils. Producer Chris had a great evening and we spoke to a lot of the fans there. This is what they had to say. I think we must be getting sabotaged by maybe Manchester City because it's the derby this week and they don't want us to talk about how poor Leroy Sane is as a footballer. So we're going to come back into your comments. What did you think about the game? Get all your opinions in there. What can United do to be better at the start of games? That's the big question. How do United start so poorly? Seems to be this really weird thing where they almost start the game like they haven't been training for a week. The comments coming out from Mourinho after the game was talking about how it was probably the best training week they've had this season. The coaches were saying that United were playing well in training, they were ready to go. Then you go to Bournemouth and you're thinking, what's happened here, chaps? What is happening right now? Lukaku needs his own pre-season during the season. The guy just needs a rest like Lingard. Completely agree with that from Tariq. I wouldn't start him versus Ubel the derby. I kind of agree. What do you guys think about Sanchez as well? Drifting from the number 9 position, again, created that great goal for Anthony Martial as maybe a false 9. Did you like that? Was that better than Rashford through the middle? Rashford or Sanchez? Get into the comments. But I completely agree with there. There's lots of shouts in the comments. Press from the first minute, JB. Kind of agree with that. So I think United haven't really done under Mourinho to be aggressive in most of the games. You know, you take the FA Cup semi last season against Tottenham. United pressed. They pressed high up the pitch. They forced Spurs into long balls, into clearances. Why can't we see that again? Assa's come into the comments. Lindelof as a DM, like Marquinhos at PSG. Could work, but I've really liked him. I've really liked, Lindelof, that centre-half. Fantastic the last few games. The Juve game, a game that he's shone. Not great against Bournemouth, didn't really stand out in a defensive sense. I don't think any of the United players stood out in a defensive sense. The amount of times Bournemouth cut United open with their quick interchange, it was a little bit worrying. Jack's come into the comments, Sanchez as a false 9. I would like that a lot. We kind of saw the positives of Sanchez as a false 9 against Bournemouth, of course, vacating the space. Martial moves to that natural number 9 position, finishes with left foot. That's what I really liked about that finish. Martial's a little bit right-footed when he finishes for Manchester United. We know the classic move of coming inside and then the lovely low curl finishes. That finish with his left foot. Again, Martial improving as a player. Give the guy a run of games, he's going to score your goals. 5 goals in the last 5 games. What a time to be a Martial fan with, of course, Manchester United. We're going to go back into your comments. Would rather have Rashi or Martial up top with Jesse in behind as a number 10. That could be quite interesting. That coming in from the Governor Bandicoot. We've always got the great opinion team. Will probably be joining us later on in the show. But it is an interesting one. Look, it's okay. Guys, it's okay. We are going to go to the fan cams right now. I've just been given the thumbs up by the big dog behind the camera. So let's go to the fan cams right now. And there's sort of the fans' opinions. After the game, a great result for Manchester United.
Manchester United grab the lead. Dave's back. You just hugged Smalling after the winner. How you feeling?
That's complete, innit? honestly, right. I thought first half again we really struggled, but as soon as we got that goal, it was all right. It's like second half was so much better again.
Sam, what a last minute winner. Marcus Rashford.
It's back to the days of Fergie. Played terrible again, absolutely terrible. We'll take the 3 points all day.
Those scenes, mate, I was saying the whole game if Rashford's going to score or like anyone's going to score, I don't know how I'm going to cope. We've got to score last minute and I've just lost it and ran straight down the end.
Rashford missed that chance earlier on. Nathan Ake, it was great defending, but when you look at it, he should have stuck it in one of the corners.
He chested it down, did well to get down there, but he should have slotted that way. But anyway, 3 points, end of the day, go home.
Did we deserve it?
I said, to be honest, hand on my heart, we deserve the point at least. I would have said a point.
Yeah,
said a point, but good football at the end of the day from both sides. Fair play to Bournemouth, but big teams always come out big winners, don't they?
I think he's an unbelievable player, and give him time, it'd be fantastic. He's still young, he's doing brilliant. So, I'm happy he got the goal and happy we got the win, of course.
What we wanted him to do.
Jose in!
What are we on about? Performance-wise, this is what we do. We're Man United.
2-1, last minute winner. How you feeling?
Yeah, but absolutely.
Yeah, it was like the Chelsea game, same, started that first half of the Chelsea game, absolutely macca.
Why do we need to go behind to react?
Mate, you're asking the wrong person there, mate. I ain't got a clue.
Still buzzing though, yeah?
Mourinho's substitutions, Rashford and Herrera changed the game for me.
Marcus Rashford with the goal. Did his performance deserve that? He obviously missed a huge chance that he had.
Yeah, I would say so. He was working, he's making the runs. He just had to have that final chance to take it, basically. He worked hard, he made the runs, just finally came off at the end.
He's got that goal now. You think we'll see an improvement in his performances?
Definitely. I think you look at Martial coming into the squad, getting in the team, getting a goal, confidence is on a high, and from there, he's been brilliant ever since.
There are all the fan cams. Again, guys, we've got to ask that question. Polish, Dave, Irish? Is he Manc? What is he? Again, Enrique in the comments saying that. Very interesting stuff there. I really agree with the guy in the hat. Super excited. I was so excited when United won that game, of course, on Saturday afternoonish. But United, Macca in that first half. Of course, Macca meaning absolutely rubbish. It's that point. Again, we keep going back to this. We've had it for like half a season or a season and a half where United have just started so poorly in the big games. And please don't do that this Sunday. That could be very, very scary, guys. Again, we've got some more comments coming in from you guys. We simply need to press and disrespect and we'll win more games. Again, something like, I've been watching the 99 United team recently, right? And one of the big things they would do would be aggressive on and off the ball. And that's something that this United team lack. From the first whistle, from United going off with Roy Keane in midfield, with David Beckham in there, aggressive. And it feels like United need that a bit more, that collective spirit, that collective aggression. We're going to go out from minute one to win that ball. It's our ball. I think that level of respect that United maybe give opponents, like maybe we give Bournemouth too much respect. We've got to go out there and be a little bit more physical, a little bit more demanding from our centre forwards. Can we get into the top four, Statman Dave? That comes in from Anthony Martial. Thanks for watching, Tony. You're having a great games over the last few weeks. But yes, of course, Manchester United can get into the top four. It is so competitive this season, but United are sitting 7th in the league right now, right? We've not seen the best of this Man United team this season. The trajectory should improve. United should get better. So can United make the top four? Absolutely yes. Man City to be up by 4-0 at half-time. Chris, keep those horrible thoughts to yourself. There's a lot of comments coming about Jess Lingard as a number 10. I think that would actually help. That'd help United's tempo. Jess Lingard definitely needs to start against Manchester City. You take, United's improvement in that second half with Pogba, Sanchez, but Jess Lingard's positioning as almost a false nine really helped United going forward. But anyway, guys, let's move on to United on YouTube. Some more great opinions from you guys, the viewers that have sent in.
No matter what anyone says, nothing beats a last-minute win. I don't care who you're playing. And it's not a smash and grab, guys. That is an awesome result.
I don't know how Rashford managed to miss that, and Pogba as well, the rebound, but very positive in the second half. Hopefully, it's a sign of good things, but again, we can't do that against Juventus. That first half performance will not be okay, because they'll score about 4 goals past us, and it won't be good.
Barely scraped it. I mean, the first half an hour, no idea what was going on. Passes misplaced everywhere. Defenders looked genuinely shook, like really, really scared of Bournemouth. And it's just, I don't get why we just continually, at least in first halves, make every team suddenly look like Xavi and Iniesta's Barcelona.
We've got to be playing better than that in the first half of games. That was absolutely atrocious. With games against Juventus and City coming up, if we start the games as bad as that, we're probably going to struggle to get anything from the games.
It wasn't a pleasing first half, but it was a half worth watching, given that we saw Alexis Sanchez assist Anthony Martial for that equalizing goal.
But yeah, what I really want to talk about is Marcus Rashford. A lot of people have been on his back recently, but what I remind them is that he's a young player, he's growing, he's continuously improving, and this game showed a perfect example of that.
I thought Pogba played a very vital role in that last minute goal. That 89-minute cross was just sublime.
But Mourinho, stop playing Matic. He looks knackered in that midfield. Give him a rest. We saw what Herrera could do when he comes on. He can do that role while Matic sits 1 or 2 games out.
Sanchez had a difficult start to the game, being able to convert the few chances that Fred created, but did good later on and was crucial in the making of the first goal.
Martial on the score sheet once again. Marcus Rashford, what a goal, what a moment at the end. And I hope we can take this. We obviously built momentum, so I hope we can take this into Juventus game and give it all we have.
I don't care what anyone says. Against a team in form, like with Watford, like with Everton, we've done the business. We should have maybe scored more, a lot more, but I don't care, because nothing feels better than beating a team in the last minute at their ground when there's nothing else they can do about it. So guys, Hughes in a good mood today. Subscribe to Full-Time Devils.
Credit to Jose Mourinho for making the changes that got Manchester United into the lead in the dying minutes and hang on. So I'm really pleased with the 3 important points, but got to kick on now and start performing for 90 minutes.
But yeah, nice one. I need to stop doing that clap thing. Subscribe to Full-Time Devils if you want. You can if they're alright. And bye.
We brought more attacking power in the second half, but I don't see why we can't do that in every half in the upcoming games. Why can't we just attack in every half, in every game?
Flattering result, I'm not too sure. Would have deserved a point, would have been happy with the point. About after the first half, I would have taken the point, to be honest.
And that's what I highlight. He's a young player. He's growing. He's improving. And just give him a chance to grow and stop getting on his back.
My man of the match has got to be Pogba. So shout out to my boy, Pogba.
No one's knocking the smile off his face today, baby. That is an awesome, awesome Fergie time style win. Peace.
Play a lot more fluid without Lukaku, but onwards and upwards. Looking forward to Juve. We'll be really happy with a point, or just like a non-embarrassing loss, to be honest.
Also, just want to remind you guys, remember this.
And yeah, overall, happy with the performance. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And yeah, make sure you stay subscribed to Full Time Devils. I've been Jack Wall.
And I completely agree with Paul Lucas. Hughesy is the man. What a legend. What a guitar. If you want to get involved with United on YouTube, go into the link in the description below and there'll be loads of details of how you can get involved for the post-derby reaction where United win 4-2, I'm going to go with. Score prediction for that game. Of course, there's content on Full Time Devils around the derby and Juve later on. But just to chat about those guys, of course, Jack Wall saying, stop playing Matic. Kind of agree with that. I think all the comments agree with that. I think for the City game, we need a bit of energy in midfield. We need that aggression. We need Herrera, Fred, and Paul Pogba. That's exactly what I want to see there. Hughesy as well, not only can he play the guitar, but he makes a very good point about United have beaten two teams in form, Everton and now Bournemouth. Both teams playing really well in the Premier League. Imagine if United had held on as well at Chelsea. Taking, those 3 wins would have been absolutely fantastic. But United potentially should have scored more. There were big chances again. And Herrera had 2 really good opportunities. You're looking at Rashford's 3 chances, scoring 1 goal from those. So all that stuff there together would be absolutely perfect. So guys, we're going to go back to the comments one final time. I love having Spaniards in the team. They add intelligence to the game. That comes in from Devon on Facebook. Again, Full Time Devils on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. Go and follow them because they are brilliant. But that's probably going to be that for today, guys. I've, of course, been Statman Dave on Full Time Devils. There's so much good content coming out this week. United have 2 massive games away in Turin where they're going to pick up the 3 points, and then against Manchester City. Again, there's going to be previews, reviews, all that good stuff. I've been Statman Dave. Make sure, of course, to subscribe if you're new to Full Time Devils and like that goddamn video. Have a wonderful Monday, guys. See you later.